Everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know you folks were in the other session for the welcome session, and this is the Haumana information session. Haumana meaning student or pupil as you guys are entering this university. So we're just going to give a bit of time for people to kind of trickle in. Seeing all the attendees increase in numbers in the next few seconds. So yes, if you are an incoming student, this is the right place to be. Please post your questions similar to the last session, and we can kind of help you out throughout the this time right now. But I'm Jordan Abanto. I am one of the academic advisors at the College of Natural Sciences. Our other team members that we have today is Jill from the Mānoa Transfer Coordination Center, Maile from the College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resiliency, and Kenny from the Department of Information and Computer Sciences. So we're here again today with the Haumana information session or student information session. And we're just going to give you a rundown about what to expect, kind of understanding the relationship between the advisor and like what we do for advising. We are here to kind of help monitor your academic progress, making sure you graduate on whatever time is on your schedule and teaching you how to understand what your degree requirements are. So, for example, knowing that I'm the College of Natural Science advisor, teaching you what does it mean to be a biology student and so forth. So, if you're wondering who the heck is your advisor, it varies between your college and or major. You can have multiple advisors at this institution as well. So in order for that, scan that QR code for your advising guide, and it should bring you to this website that then indicates, hey, if I'm an Asian studies major or maybe interested in that, I'll go ahead and see I should talk with the College of Arts, Languages, and Letters. As I was saying earlier, we also want you to understand you as a student taking that initiative to make that academic career possible throughout this university, and us as advisors helping you just navigate that academic journey. So some of the topics we do want to talk about today is understanding is if you need to do a placement exam, doing a demo with Star GPS and registration. So we're going to show you how to navigate that website, how to find some major specific information, and some just frequently asked questions that we kind of get on a day-to-day basis as advisors. So placement exams. What people wonder is like, do I have to do these exams to kind of take my courses here at this institution? It really depends on your major. So with our placement exam information, you can kind of see there are various ones. To give you kind of a general overview, you can see that with placement exams, if you have background knowledge in a language, you can probably test higher. Our institution, we require up to 4 semesters of a single language, depending on your major. So you may or may not need to do that. And if you're like, I have background knowledge in a language, I might want to test higher. So you can kind of determine to see if I have background knowledge in Japanese, Chinese, or Korean, let me go ahead and look at their website and see how to get that scheduled. In addition to that, there might be other subjects that require placement exams in general. So chemistry, if you're needing to get into those intro chemistry courses, for a lot of our life science or STEM students, you might be needing to take that in your first few semesters. There's also the chemistry placement exam information here on their website and following their instructions, as well as the mathematic placement exams if you're needing to take various math courses at your time here. Now, if you don't need to take it, then don't worry. You should always double check with your advisor to ensure that you are needing to do it in the first place. And then finally, if you're like, hey, I received a seal of biliteracy, I have background knowledge in a language, I'm not too sure if I really need to take the placement exam that I just mentioned right now. You can go ahead and double check with the College of Arts, Languages, and Letters to just learn more about what that language department requires in order for you to kind of get the credits, not having to do too much language courses because you are fluent. We want to recognize that and we want to make sure by being fluent, you're kind of moving ahead with your degree as well too. So that's just kind of the general gist of placement exams, and I'll hand it over to Kenny for Star GPS registration and that demo with that for kind of his section.
Thank you so much, Jordan. I will talk about Star GPS registration, how it works by doing a demo. Um, for my colleagues, if you folks can share links while I talk, that'll be greatly appreciated, such as the link to get into Star. But I'll talk about Star GPS registration. Give me a reaction if you can see my screen. Perfect. Okay. Um, so basically, Star GPS or Star itself, when you log in using your UH credentials, this is where you are going to register for courses. Star GPS, which is the tab that I'm on right now, is where you're going to land on when you first log into Star. It will show you a 4-year plan of what your course will look like if you are, for this example, a computer science major. As Jordan mentioned, I'm the advisor for computer science, so I'm showing the computer science demo. If you click on the Academic Essentials tab, this tab will show you all the requirements you need in order to graduate with your degree. The left side will show you credits as well as graduation requirements, which we'll definitely talk more about in the college school advising sessions after this. In the middle should be the specific required courses that you need. Top box should be the gen eds. Bottom middle box should be the major required courses. Depending on your advisors, sometimes they'll leave advisor notes every time you folks meet for us advising appointments. We do that in the ICS department. A lot of other departments does that as well, as a way just to refer back to what was discussed. In regards to GPS registration and how to register for courses, um, basically you're going to click on the add drop classes. You would have to update this checklist and agree to our policies, but I'll bypass that for now. After you do that, you'll land on the page that will let you register. It'll have a list of courses, and all you gotta do is click on the select a course, and it'll give you options. As you select different options, what's going to happen is that it's going to pop up in the class schedule on the right side just to show you what that would look like during your week. If you find a class that you like and it fits with your time, you click on that, check out, and you go on to the next options. After you're done with picking your classes, that's when you'll press the submit button, which is in the bottom left or bottom right. It's not this person's registration time right now, therefore we can't click the submit button. But if you wanted to pre-register and have your courses set, you can. Jordan mentioned having to take a placement exam, so there is some majors like in STEM where you do need to take a placement exam, um, which Jordan mentioned and showed. If you forget what you get placed into, because registration isn't until like next month and you take the placement exam now, you probably won't remember. What you can do is you can click on your test scores, and what happens is that it'll pop up your test score and your placement exam on here. That way you can figure out which courses you have to take for math or for chemistry, whichever placement exam you take. Um, that is a brief overview of STAR registration. Another thing that STAR can do is if you're thinking about doing like a double major or switching major, there is this what if journey option where you can see different majors and see how that would look like in your 4-year plan. If you're thinking about double or triple major, you can turn on the double triple major option and you can find whatever you want to double major, triple major on the WIF journey, just to show you how that would look like. But yes, brief overview of STAR. I'm gonna stop screen sharing real fast and we're gonna share the slides once again. And then just a friendly reminder, that is your STAR link. Miley sent that out. You can also scan the QR code. This is where you're going to register for courses as well as look at your academic plan. And this is the advising tool that your advisor will use every time you meet with them. Okay, next I'll send it to Miley to talk about our new student modules in greater details.
Aloha, everyone. Thank you so much for attending our session today. So I'm happy to be able to talk with you about the new student advising modules, which you've heard are online, they're free, they're asynchronous. And so really they're short video tutorials on helpful topics for new students. You can find them on the Velina Mānoa orientation website. You can also learn about orientation opportunities on that website as well. But yes, there are some very important topics. The new Rainbow Warrior checklist, that's a great checklist to become familiar with. And that module will highlight just the key steps that are important to registering. And then the Make My UH Your UH. So My UH is a great site that's kind of like a one-stop shop. It allows you to navigate to different academic and administrative type sites that you'll be navigating as a student, and you can even favorite the ones that you visit often, so you can learn more about that. Your degree requirements, so learn how to use STAR to not only identify your program requirements, but also track your progress. For those of you that are transferring and you have college credits elsewhere, the transfer transcript will be of, I think, interest to you to learn about, how do you interpret the transfer transcript? How can you make sense of what you're looking at in terms of understanding the courses you're being credited with at UH Manoa. And then placement exams. We've talked a lot about placement exams this morning, but you can do a recap by looking at the module. And then others, the course planning, the STAR GPS. You can take another look at a demo of our registration system through STAR. And then the Meet Your Advisors, so how to connect with an advisor. But yeah, like we mentioned, they're asynchronous, so it's really something at your convenience that you can reference. And I'll go ahead and turn it over to Jill.
Great. Thanks, Smiley. Okay, so in this next section, we're going to take a look at how to find information that is specific to the major you've chosen to pursue at UH Manoa. So next slide. Thank you, Jordan. So this is the UH Manoa catalog where you can find specific program information and degree requirements for your major. And we'll give you a couple of seconds to scan the QR code there. Oh, hold on, Jordan. Sorry. Can you go back? So sorry. So the QR code will take you to the catalog and the alphabetical list of majors that you'll see here. You can also find information about the different colleges, schools, and departments across campus by clicking on their names on the menu on the left-hand side of the screen. So once you do find your major, or if you're considering changing your major, you can click on the link of the major for more information. And now we'll take a look at an example on the next slide. Thanks, Jordan. So let's say you selected psychology as your major. You'll see the UH Manoa general education requirements, graduation requirements, any specific college requirements, and then major specific requirements. And then the hyperlinks here in the will take you to the different course descriptions for more information. And then at the end there's also a four-year plan available as well. It's going to scroll. Great. So now let's take a look at advising information. We've said it a couple times. Jordan showed it to us earlier. Thank you so much. But this is the best place to start to find out how to meet with your advisor and who your advisor is. So you can scan this QR code as well. This is the homepage for the advising guide, and it'll help you find your academic advisor and advising unit. You can find your major either alphabetically or by field of study. So we'll take a look at an example. We'll use the psychology major that we looked at earlier on the next slide. So you'll see here, psychology is a major in our College of Social Sciences. And then you can see here information about the location of the advising office, their contact information, and how to set up an appointment. Thank you, Jordan. Next slide.
Okay, so we created a document just in anticipation of our presentation of frequently asked questions by new students. So you can access it by going ahead and using the QR code or going to the link there. And I think we've seen some great questions in the Q&A for the webinar. So thank you for sending those in. We'll continue to address them. And there's one that's in there now that I might just read out loud since we're doing the Q&A. So the question about placement exam. So if we do not pass our placement exam the first time, we'll be able to retake it before class registration. That does depend on the placement exam. So if you're taking the math placement exam, there are 3 different time periods. So it depends on where you fall with your first attempt within those time periods. Yeah, and so what we would recommend is taking a look at the math department website and the placement information, and you can look at those time periods. For the chemistry placement exam, you can retake it once during the testing period that really is planning for the fall semester. You do have to wait 24 hours between the attempts. But yeah, it's going to be specific to the exact placement exam. And you can also check with your academic advisor as well for details about that. Let's see, some other ones that haven't come up in our session but are pretty common. For students that might have questions about financial aid, we've got a wonderful UH Mānoa Financial Aid Services office. They do have a virtual front desk on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Friday. And so their website, the front page of it does have information about how to link over, and you can talk one-on-one with one of the financial aid professionals there. If you have questions about veterans benefits, we do have an Office of Veteran Student Services to help you learn more about using your VA benefits. And we have their contact information on that document that you can link to through the QR code. The registrar's office also has a contact for VA benefits as well, and there's information on their site. Okay, and then with campus housing, so our student housing services would be the best point of contact for any questions about housing, your housing needs. Let's see, and then sometimes we do get, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to respond to a question that came through the Q&A that hasn't been answered yet. So if I have Chemistry 161, which is General Chemistry 1, listed on my STAR GPS, do I need to take the placement exam? So if you were not given credit through the transfer credit process for Chemistry 131, then yes, you do need to take the chemistry placement exam. It is an online exam that you can do at your convenience, and there's more information on the chemistry department website. Let's see. And okay. And then I did want to go over another question about waitlisting, because as you prepare to register, you may see that some of the courses that may be required for your major or just ones that you want to take may be full. But an instructor can designate a certain number of spaces or seats on their wait list. So a course may have room for 50 students to register and then 10 seats on the wait list. So if you choose to waitlist a course, basically you become assigned to a position on the wait list. Let's say you're the first one, so your number one position. If another student drops that course, then you will get notified that a seat opened up and you'll have 24 hours to have that priority ability to register for that course. If you miss the 24 hours, so what they do is they send you an email to your UH email. If you miss that 24 hours, then the offer goes to the next person on the wait list. Something to know is that the wait list goes away once the semester begins. So for fall 2025, semester begins on August 25th. At that point, you could still potentially add the course, but you would either need to go to the class or contact the instructor, but the waitlist just wouldn't be applicable anymore once the semester starts. And if you find that you're waitlisted for quite a few classes and don't have a solid schedule, I for sure work with your academic advisor, because we want you to feel confident in entering your first semester that you have secured courses. Okay, let's see. Another one, I'm just going to kind of read off of our form. When is the last day I can make changes to my registration? So each semester, the Office of the Registrar publishes an academic calendar with all of the important dates regarding registration. However, you can also see them attached to the course you've registered for. So you can look at the description and just kind of expand the view once you're registered in a course, and it will give you deadlines in terms of the last day to register, the last day to drop a course and get 100% tuition refund, last day to drop a course and get a 50% tuition refund, and those types of things. So for fall 2025, the last day that you can register or like switch sections, even change the grading mode for a course is September 2nd. So semester starts August 25th, and then you have until September 2nd to sort of solidify your schedule in that way. The last day to drop without a W grade and for a 50% tuition refund is September 16th. The 100% tuition refund deadline is September 2nd. Sorry, I didn't mention that. And then from September 17th to November 3rd, there's this restricted withdrawal period where you could still drop, but there would be a W grade assigned, no refund, and W typically means that it shows that you have withdrawn late, and it goes on the transcript. Okay, so I know that we're coming to the end of our time. Yeah, so should we maybe advance the slide and talk about what's next? Yeah. Okay. Okay, great. So next you'll be going to your college and school presentations. So they'll start at 10 a.m., but there is some time to transition over. Um, let's see. And then, so 10 to 10:30, the college and school presentation. So if you have a major, you'll attend those. Or if you're exploratory and you're interested, you can attend those. And then 10:35 to 12, the Q&A session for your college or school, or there's some supplementary advising presentations. For example, study abroad, if you're interested in study abroad or pre-health. Um, yeah, and so you can look at the website that Kenny just posted to see what types of sessions there are. Um, okay, and if you're not sure where to go, then you have the link to the advising as well. Okay, let's see. Oh, and there's lots of Q&A, so let me keep looking at it. Okay. I think we have until 9:55. Is that right, folks, my co-presenters? Okay.
Yes.
Um, yes, okay. Let's
And then
see.
real fast,
Uh,
can you click on the submitters, Jordan, so you can show a little bit more about how to use the website? Um, oh, it looks broken.
I might have a different view for that, but give me one moment.
All good. Can you click the one that I put in the chat, hopefully? That one works.
Same thing on my view. Give me one moment to.
No worries. I can screen share real fast.
Okay.
Okay. For those who have the student view, when you click on the link, it'll send you to our Warrior Wayfinder Day. And as you can tell, there's 25 live sessions. So depending on what school, college you belong to, check out which one it is. So for example, I think we did like a psychology one as an option, as a example. Earlier, if you're in psychology, then your school is the College of Social Science, and you want to register for the one that says College of Social Science. And then you just put your information there, and then you can join when the time comes at 10 o'clock. But yeah, just so that folks know how to get to their different colleges. Thank you, Jordan.
Okay. And then let's see. So there was a question about the math placement and the Math Smarter Balance exam. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to the math placement website, which is a very thorough website. And they do have a section where they talk about, yes, there might be some other ways of being placed into your math course that don't necessarily involve placement exam, and then minimum scores. So this is the next document is going to be the math. And this is just for placement purposes. It doesn't necessarily mean you're assigned credits. It depends on what method you're trying to use to place. Okay, so I'll type that in. So hopefully that answers that one. Another one, do I need to wait for my high school to send my transcripts to register? Um, So I guess the short answer would be no, you don't have to wait for that, but you do need to send your final high school transcript to avoid a potential hold in your second semester. So make sure that you send that final high school transcript to the Office of Admissions that shows you've graduated and just has your last semester of high school grades and everything to close out your file. And if you have questions, you can contact the Office of Admissions. If you're wondering, like, did they receive it? Did they not? And I'll put the website for admissions and they have their contact information on there. Um, Another one, should we meet with the academic advisor before or after we take our placement exams? Does the time frame not matter? I think it's generally more ideal to have your placement scores before meeting with the advisor so they can give you the best guidance on what you should register in. However, you don't necessarily have to wait. I mean, if you're open to maybe checking back in with them once you have your placement scores, most advisors are pretty flexible. But the more information you can give them to help in guiding your first semester plan, the better. Um, and then how can I find course requirements if I am minoring in something? So I would say the college catalog is a great resource to find those requirements. And so I'm going to go ahead and put a link to the catalog. Um, and specifically to the catalog page that, let's see, that identifies the undergraduate programs because it's going to have not only the majors, but also, let's see, I'm hoping this link works, but it's basically the section of the catalog that is under undergraduate programs A to Z. So it will show you, I'm going to share my screen. It will show you here the bachelor's programs offered by the university. You can keep so many, right? Dr. Hubbard talked about we have so many options. And then the undergraduate certificates as well as minors. And so you can find out what are those course requirements, how many credits, because it can vary. You may have some minors are 15, some that are 21 credits. Okay. And then another one, how do I know if my AP exam scores from last year have been received? A quick answer would be you could contact the Office of Admissions to see if they received the scores. But you do need to have ordered them from College Board and sent them. So if you remember, yes, I did take that step, but if you didn't take any step to release your record, then that would be an important step to take. Okay, so we are at 9:55. I want to honor your time. So the next sessions will be the college sessions. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And just a friendly reminder, the Zoom link for the next sessions will open closer to the time. Thank you. Have a good day. Take care.